We are studying 6 paramitas of perfection in our journey. Today we'll talk about and think about together perfection of a meditation, dhyana prajna. It's a 5th paramita. In our daily life, especially in modern time, our mind is distracted quite often with highly stimulated machineries and technologies around us. So our mind have a tendency to be very distracted and restless, always moving and following thought after thought and feeling after thought and creating inner noise and mind chatter all the time. If you don't meditate and tackle them, they will dominate you. Distractions, inner noises and chatters in your mind, consuming your good energy, make it very tired and feel fatigue. Because of this, our awareness is always fixed with the ego. Everything tends to judge or see things from ego's perspective in the face of our minds and emotions. So keeping everything, repeating everything in habitual pattern and habitual behavior. So perfection of a meditation and perfection of a meditative concentration means that training your mind, studying your mind, and studying yourself. We stabilize our mind and our emotion by meditation, by being mindful and be aware of whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever we think in our mind. So what is meditation? How do you meditate? Meditation is calming your distraction and calming your mind to restore Buddha nature. Very positive, all beautiful qualities of your inborn wisdom. So you cultivate that in your mind. So letting go of any thought arise during your meditation, and any distraction, any thought, any pattern appears, just recognize it, simply let it go, and come back to your breath. That is cultivating your meditative concentration. In your body, we are balancing yin and yang energy. So how do you know you are meditating well? There are so many people meditating 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. So how do you know you are practicing meditation properly? Do you have any idea whether you can sense that you meditate well? So in mind, as we said, meditation is restoring your Buddha nature. In your mind is calming down and centered and grounded and have inner peace. And that positive quality, inner happiness, inner joy arise. And you feel you are completely perfect and beautiful. So you in your mind, you're cultivating that centeredness. And in your body, while you're meditating well, the checkpoint is if you have a lot of salivas in your mouth, the kind of pure, sweet salivas coming from under your tongue or in your mouth, that means you are balancing yang and yang energy. So if you experience that, you are meditating well. After meditation, if you feel that your hands and feet are warm, that means you are meditating, you are balancing your yin and yang energy. All yang energy most time appear is coming down to your lower center, we call danjian. So your danjian getting warmer. Sometimes while you are meditating, you may feel something in your lower center, danjian. Sometimes spiral energy moving there, or warmth, or some form of energy you can feel. That is because you are balancing your yin and yang energy. When yang energy coming down to your lower center, your hands and feet and your lower abdomen getting warmer, at the same time, your yin energy, cool, refreshing energy arising through your spinal column. That's why it's critically important to straighten your back and stretch your neck and center your body. Because if your spinal column is crooked, then this energy, yin energy, cannot travel up to your brain. So straightening your lower back and neck and head is the way to allow your yin and yang energy balance during the meditation. That's why its correct posture is critical. It is like a sandwich. Do you know what is sandwich? It's sand up here and it's empty bottom here. But when you put the sandwich, all sand coming to the bottom. So in your meditation, all your energy, especially all your yang energy, coming down to your lower abdomen and dantian inner centers. So that is a checkpoint during your meditation. If you're constantly thinking something, thought after thought, and chasing ideas, then you will not have this balancing qi. When you balance your energy, yin and yang, your mind getting refreshed, light, cool, feel great, feel happy, feel strong, and feel confidence that you can do anything from there. But if your mind and body working together during the meditation, so if you have a balancing just yin and yang qi, then it is easy to restore your Buddha nature and then letting go of distraction. So that is deeply related to your mind and body in your meditation. So how do you meditate? Most of you already know how you meditate. You just simply center your mind and body and let go of all your thought and follow your breath. Do not try to do anything. Do not attempt to do anything or try to control your breath. Just simply follow your breath and sustain your awareness through your entire inhalation and exhalation. So you begin to aware of, even at this time, be aware of your beginning of inhalation, center, and the end of inhalation, and then beginning of exhalation, middle of exhalation, the end of exhalation. So your focus, your awareness constantly be with your own breathing. So that is the way we train our mind. So physically, mentally, emotionally, we build stability and letting go of agitation, distraction, and instability. So we can achieve focus, clarity, composure, tranquility, and centeredness. So ability to focus and concentrate the mind brings clarity of your mind. Begin to see when you think. Begin to see how you think and how you communicate and how you behave. So this is the way of building meditative concentration and transforming habitual pattern, habitual way of being on earth, and transforming misperception and attachment that cause suffering and confusion. So as we eliminate this misunderstanding and attachment, we begin to experience this joy, compassion, love, and wisdom of our true self. So there is no attainment of wisdom or enlightenment without developing this meditative concentration. So meditative concentration is a foundation for all Buddhist practice. So the previous paramita, perseverance or joyous effort, is the one help you to really cultivate this meditative concentration. And this is critical to cultivate inner awareness, because that is the beginning of all 6 paramitas. So developing the mind through concentration, contemplation, and meditation is a critical practice in Buddhist tradition. So if you meditate well, then what will happen? What kind of things you will experience in the future? If you already experience something, you can see which stage you are in. So in Buddhism, we have about 4 stages of cultivating meditative concentration. The first stage is that developing inner awareness, developing awareness of what is happening in my mind, in my thought, in my life, in my body, and in my world. So you begin to aware of it. When you begin to aware of it, what's happening in your mind and your body, in the beginning, you will identify, you will see a lot of negative quality really bothering you. Anxieties, worries, and sometimes unhappy and depressed. And all this negativity seems dominating in your mind. So that is a very good beginning to know about what is happening in your mind and body. When you know what is happening in your mind, especially as a practitioner, you make a mind to give up unwholesome desires and thought. Just the awareness itself is not enough. If you begin to see what is happening in your mind, in your life, in your body, and if you're competing that habitual pattern, then you will experience that negativity along the way. And you don't want that in your life. So you give up this unwholesome thinking, unwholesome desires. So that's a very big step in the beginning. So when you learn to meditate constantly, daily, you have this inner awareness, and then your mind begins to function positively by stopping any thought arise. It's confusing or negative or make you depressed. It's like when you drive somewhere, there are many stop signs and the red lights. If you don't stop at the stop sign, or you don't stop at red light, what will happen to you? Not only you're hurting yourself and harming yourself, you are hurting others. And sometimes car accidents can kill people. So you can get killed or you can kill others if you don't stop at the stop sign. So the first stage is that's aware of it, you stop that negative thought. So negative way of communicating or negative way of behaving. So you just stop it. That is a way to stop your car at the red signal. Meditation makes the mind tranquil and calm and grounded. That allows you to accept your innate quality, which is symbolized here. Your innate quality is like this, perfect, rounded, and beautiful, and helps you to go back to your centeredness. So by engaging meditation, you cultivate this awareness and recognize what is arising in your mind, and then discern it and let go, and stop that negativity, and that is the way to help you to be here and now in the moment, to live at the present moment, and free from unwholesome desires, which is a cause of suffering, anger. If you agitate, any thought arises makes you unpleasant, be aware of it. That unpleasant feeling, unpleasant thought can create a larger drama in your life. she or he is not attentive to my needs and not really pay attention to all kind of can come out. Just not paying attention to the thought of those unpleasant thoughts. So letting go of ignorance, miserliness, jealousy, pride, all those things are creating suffering and hurting us and hurting others. So in this stage, the first stage is very critical, that just to overcome pain in your body and then develop awareness in your mind and stop negative thought, desires, and negative way of being on earth. And second stage of meditation is that attainment of inner peace and concentration of your mind. Awareness now brings you further step to cultivate inner peace and really building spiritual stability. In this stage, we learn to stop our mind following after thought. So if any thought arises, another thought, just to keep following different thoughts and multiply it in that habitual pattern. So you begin to stop second thought. If you have one thought arise, then try to stop. So you don't wandering off and follow this useless thinking in your mind all the time. So in this second stage, you begin to develop joy and interest over your practice and your well-being. So when you meditate constantly in this second stage, you feel light and joy and refreshness and joy and happiness. But in the beginning of our meditation, we struggle with a lot of negative memories. All of a sudden in your meditation, you remember something really hurt you when you were young, or anxieties and tensions, stress, worry, all this resentment, regret, those negative fears coming in your meditation and knocking you. So this is the time you challenge this negativity and stop the habitual pattern. After this second stage, we develop concentration on continuation of our practice. It's like a watching flow of a river. If you go to East River here, sometimes water goes upward, sometimes it's going the other direction according to high tide or low tide. So our mind is like that, always flowing. So try to watch your mind and restore and see your pure, clear, and clean mind. So Gautama Buddha was going to a village to give a Dharma talk with Ananda, the chief disciple of Buddha at that time. So they crossed a small canal and then further toward the village. But Buddha was very thirsty and tired. So he sat down under the tree and asked Ananda, fetch the water, I'm very thirsty. So Ananda went back to the canal, and big, huge cart just passed by, and the muddy water. So he looked at the water, it's unfit for drinking. So he went back to the Buddha and described that lots of muddy water and it's impossible for you to drink. But Buddha keeps saying, I'm very thirsty, I need the water, so go back and fetch the water. So he went back to the canal again. Already second time, the muddy water was a little more settled. So it's clear, but still unfit for drinking. So he cannot go back to the Buddha anymore. He will demand the water. So he cannot do anything. So he just sat and meditated. So after a while, he opened his eyes, the muddy water become clear water. All the mud would settle down and become very clear. This is exactly same with our meditation. The mud is like a unwholesome thought or negative thought, constantly polluting our consciousness. So a lot of muddy water constantly distracting us. But if you let it be, just be silent, be quiet, and meditate. As the mud settles down, all your distracted thoughts will go down. All distracted feelings, emotions, and all those qualities that settling down and become very quiet. So in your meditation, if anything appears, don't analyze your thought, don't fight with your thought, don't be bothered with thought. Just stop everything and let it be and let it go. Then you can gain this pure consciousness within yourself, which is the Buddha nature. Third stage of meditation is equanimity and well-being. So if you keep meditating, so you now have that awareness. Now you know when to stop and how to stop. You just be aware of all those agitation arising in your life, in your mind, or in your surroundings. Then this equanimity, when you keep continuing practicing it, you feel like you are centered, you are balanced, you are able to remain in this centered place. So this equanimity in Buddhism is a foundation for wisdom and compassion and freedom. So when you have this equanimity, that equanimity comes from power of awareness, power of observation, and your ability to see things as they are without being by caught. So when you develop deeper meditation and deepening of your meditative concentration, this equanimity arises in your mind and bring greater sense of peace. So equanimity means that remaining centeredness and balanced in the middle of whatever is happening. So balance comes from your inner strength and stability. Equanimity can protect us from 8 winds. In Buddhism, we call it 8 water winds. It's praise and blame, and success and failure, pleasure and pain, fame and disrespect. So this is 8 wind. So when you have a positive wind, you are happy and delighted. When you have a negative wind, you are disappointed, distracted, and unhappy. But serenity or your centeredness, your equanimity, able to sustain in the centeredness, even though people are praising you, or if you have a fame or successful or pleasure, it doesn't make you off the balance. Because if you are attached to these positive winds, the very beautiful winds, it is a setup for suffering for the future if wind blows different direction. When you have a lot of successful things and happy and have a fame and people praise you, if you have a conceited or arrogance, that is really can be a cause of a future suffering. So it is a very, very careful. All those winds is just the winds, not attached to it. So if you understand this serenity comes from equanimity, then all those wins is opportunity for you to study your mind, whether you are moving or distracted or over-enjoyed it and over-balanced. So meditation is really connecting us to the really deeper part of you. It's all positive, beautiful, balanced, and profoundly good. So deep within us, beyond our chatters mind, beyond our conscious mind, that we all have this very beautiful center. That's why meditation is critical to recover it. And this, when you enter and experience this Buddha nature, this is untouched by any of your problems or negative experience and impressions. So among 7 billion people on earth, how many people are meditating Sunday morning at this time? Very few compared to the 7 billion. And Buddha said the only lucky ones have a mind of inspiration to meditate. So we are lucky ones. Not everybody learning this stuff and jump into practice, but we are the lucky ones. Understand what meditation or what Buddha Dharma or Buddhist teaching can advance us and bring happiness and freedom. So we have that inspiration. That's why we begin to meditate. So it is very good to know that you have already very big advancement. In Korean proverb said that beginning is halfway done. So all of you at least begin this process of meditation and halfway done. You are 50% achieved already. So it's very important to remain practiced and always continue so you can finish the rest of 50%. The final stage is that awakening and continuation of a meditation 24/7. It would be nice, but we wake up from our ordinary consciousness to make every little things we see, experience as a peak experience. Think about it. That is a living, that is a life. If you're alive and continue to meditate and reach this fourth stage, you will be awakened and you will have this meditation all the time, regardless of what you do, regardless of the environment. So sitting silent meditation, this is a beautiful meditation. You will enjoy it. And you just go back here to your center, to your Buddha nature, and drinking that happiness, wisdom, and inner serenity. And then when you get up, and getting up is a meditation too. When you walk away, you practice a walking meditation. When you read a book, you are reading meditation. When you eat, it becomes eating meditation. When you're listening, it becomes a listening meditation. When you talk, it's a talking meditation. Everything becomes meditation. Everything becomes your peak experience. This is a final stage. Don't think it's impossible. It's possible. There are many examples, like Buddha or Sotasan. They all did it. So we can do it too. So we call it, this is a meditation of a Tathagata, or meditation of awakened one, meditations of enlightened one, or meditation of Buddha. So it is possible to meditate all the time. So if we keep practicing it, we will have this meditation or meditative state whenever or whatever we do. We can do anything and everything and still practicing meditation. That's why awakened one comes back to the world and help us to be awakened. So in conclusion, meditation has to be part of your entire life. Not just the sitting 1 hour here in meditation. Always have this meditative state or meditative mind in your daily, everyday activities. Your body is a temple. Your body is a meditation hall. So you can meditate all the time since you have a body. Wherever you go, your body goes with you, right? So you can meditate in all times and all places. It is like food. If you are hungry, your wife eating doesn't help you eliminate your hunger, right? Nobody else can eat for you. You have to eat yourself in order to eliminate hunger. Same way, meditation is something that we have to do it ourselves. It is nice to be around these meditative people and a meditative spouse or meditative friends, but unless you do it, you cannot eliminate or calming your own mind. So become happier and enjoy benefit of a meditation and practice it, meditation all the time. At least the beginning with the sitting meditation. Sitting meditation is a foundation. So developing inner awareness, giving up unwholesome desires and negative thoughts, and cultivating your inner peace and concentration over mind, and stop the mind chasing after thought, and then stay balanced and centered with equanimity and wake up from your ordinary thinking pattern or ordinary way of being on earth, and practice meditation at all times and in all places, whatever you do and wherever you go. So perfection of meditation or dhyana prajna is this. So I hope that everyone inspired today, as Thomas Edison said, 1% of inspiration and 99% of effort, joyous effort of practicing it, that makes you a genius, that makes you a real awakened one. So let us make another commitment today, or make a real inspiration and resolution to experience this beautiful different stages of meditation, and you become master of meditation, so you can help others to do that, to be awakened.